Okay, actually, this is the Devops mock interview day 35. We already completed 34 mock interviews. Whoever watching this video on YouTube, if you want to watch the 34 mock interviews, you can go to playlist section. There you can find Devops interview question and answers. So today, Harish and Aniseta is going to participate in this mock interview. Please like this video so that we are going to upload more videos. We will continue this series. So I'm expecting at least 30 likes on this video. Then only we are going to continue this. If not, we will stop it right away because we are not getting any response from your side. So Harish, can you please introduce yourself? Don't reveal about your genuine information. Tell about fake. Okay, you can
Yeah.
replace with some values, whatever you want.
Hello.
Yes, Harish, you are audible.
Yeah. Okay.
Go ahead.
Myself, Vishnu. I have 4+ years of experience in IT industry in Devops engineer. Right now, I'm working in XYZ organization since from last 2 years, and I was working in infrastructure as code like Terraform and then cloud virtualization tools like AWS and Azure. Right now, I'm working in Azure with virtual machine creation, Azure storage blob, and then images and disk drive. And then in AWS, like previous in my previous organization, I was working on AWS. In AWS, like EC2 machine, RDS, and VPC, and then AMIs. Uh, in these tools I was working, and then the version controlling tool like Git. We were working on Git, and then GitHub Actions. By using Actions, we were providing the uh, environment for the customers by using actions within the GitHub, and then even customized actions also we were delivered by creating customized actions from the GitHub. Then containerization tools like Docker and Kubernetes I was working.
Okay, how much experience you have in containerization?
Since from last 1 year, I was working in containerization, and then sorry, I just forgot to tell you that in CI/CD pipeline like Jenkins, I was working for build setup and building for continuous delivery, and then for automating from Git.
Okay, your total experience will be 4 years, right?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. So if you tell 1 year, right, in Docker, no one will hire you.
Okay.
So even though if you have 1 year,
Hmm.
tell them 3 years.
Okay. Sure. Done.
Okay. You are perfect. There is no feedback.
Okay.
Okay. So whatever you are going with the flow, it's okay.
Yeah.
So
Sure.
Aniseti, can you please introduce yourself?
Thank you giving this opportunity. My name Aniseti, a DevOps engineer with 5 years of experience, currently working at X company in Kondapur, Hyderabad. My skill set including extensive expertise in AWS for cloud infrastructure management and Git for version control. I'm well versed in continuous and integration and deployment using Jenkins along with build, automate through Maven. I have experience with code quality like security tools, SonarQube, JFrog, as well as configuration management using Ansible. In the realm of in the containerization, I work with Docker and Kubernetes for orchestrating and scaling application. My proficient in infrastructure as a code demonstrate my use of Terraform. Additional, I have skill in shell scripting to automate tasks and utilize Prometheus and Grafana for monitoring and visualizations. My background equips to me drive efficient and reliable DevOps practice in any dynamic environment. That's it from my side.
Okay, your introduction was perfect compared to other mock interviews. This mock interview you have performed well, but it is same like you are reading something and it is not the delivery is not
Okay.
like it is not realistic.
Okay.
Okay, it is perfect. You need to just practice more so that it will automatically become realistic. You no need to convert it into realistic. You need to
Okay. Okay.
introduce yourself multiple times and there is some gaps. Okay, in
Okay.
between you are just giving some gaps. So that's the reason it is becoming you are just reading something. If you don't give gaps,
Okay.
okay,
Okay.
gap gap in the sense not in between, like you are just missing the flow. Okay, Arish, can do you have any feedback? Please let him know so that he will improve.
Yeah, it's like delivering dialogues like in movies we were seeing, right? From script. So just don't use those words if you are getting like tough. You can use your own words with tools and the statement. You can make it. There is no issue
Yes,
in
Okay.
your
so
own way. Like whatever it feels, it's easy for you. You can make it.
yeah. So
Okay.
you can replace, you can edit that whatever the script I uploaded, you can edit that according to your comfortable language. You can speak. If you are feeling some words which you cannot able to speak, so you can replace. So I've just provided you a script, but we can you can edit in your own way.
Okay.
So I I'm happy that you have improved a lot. But if you continue like this, right, definitely you will schedule first round of interview. I'm not telling you will be selected. With this performance, you can pass the first round, but for the second round, you need to have much like knowledge. So, shall we start
Okay.
the mock interview?
Sure. Okay.
I will share my screen. So, you both have joined from mobile or like from laptop?
I have joined from
Mobile.
laptop.
Okay, you joined from laptop, right, Harish?
Yes.
Okay, can you able to like if I ask you something, can you able to share your screen and write?
Yes.
Super. Okay, if you have any other tabs, you can close that. Whenever I ask you, then only share. Okay, right now I will going to ask some questions. Okay.
Okay.
So, what is Docker Compose
Sure.
and how is it used in multi-container application? What is Docker Compose and how is it used in a multi-container application? So, whoever watching this video on the YouTube, please like this video. So, you can try. You know already what is Docker Compose. You can explain that.
Docker Compose is a tool that we are using for sharing multi-container applications, and also this will create YAML file for the
Yes,
application.
yes, you are right. So, I will go to next question. Aniseti, if you want to add something, definitely you participate. Okay, only not only introduction, you need to participate in this as well. So how do you scale
Okay.
services in Docker Compose? Using Docker Compose, I want to scale. So explain
Like
how to handle dependencies between services in Docker Compose. I will give at least 30 seconds for every question. Within the
okay.
30 seconds, I am not getting answer. I will move to next question. So how to handle dependencies between services in Docker Compose?
Like using multi-stage buildings and use specific versions and upgrading the dependencies, like then using environment variables.
Okay. So in the backend, right, you will get 10 to 20 seconds of time. In that backend, what you can do, you can Google it, right?
Yes.
Smartly, you need to Google it and you need to answer. It's okay. This is the
Yes.
mock interview. This is not a real interview. If you Google it right away, right, you will remember this. And in the real interview, whenever they ask, oh, on that time during that mock interview, I already Googled this. I know about this. So it will automatically get into your brain. If
Yes.
you just sit idle, right, it will be no use. So how do you manage environmental variable in Docker Compose? So you are getting time. So in between you can open your mobile, you can search how do you manage environmental variable in Docker Compose. In real interview you will not get a chance to search, right? You need to answer it. But if you search it right away in the interview, if they ask this, you definitely will answer it. Time is over. I will go to next. So by this, your Googling skill will be increased. In the real time also, whenever you are getting tasks, right, you can able to Google it, right? What are some best practices for writing Docker Compose file? This is very easy question. You can, if you Google it, you will get some points. You can tell. I will give some more time for this.
We will use Docker images, then mm, from we are using from Docker images, and then the OS type of OS.
No, I'm asking what are some best practices for writing a Docker Compose file, not Docker file.
Okay.
Next question, how would you implement logging for Docker containers in production? How do you implement logging for Docker containers in production?
No.
Next question, how do you secure Docker containers in production environment? I'm repeating again. How do you secure Docker containers in a production environment? Okay, I will go to next question. What is Docker Swarm? How does it manage container orchestration? I will going to repeat it again. What is Docker Swarm and how does it manage container orchestration?
Docker Swarm is a orchestrating tool that we are using for managing the container orchestration, and this will allow to create or manage a cluster of Docker nodes.
Okay.
Yeah, Docker container orchestration. Docker Swarm can run the package of application as a container.
Yes, you are right. So Swarm is nothing but multi-node. Okay. So if we use the multi-node, we can able to scale our containers.
Hmm.
So you need to add like this. Swarm is nothing but multi-node cluster. So cluster is nothing but we can able to deploy multiple containers. Nothing but we will be having automatically scaling and scale down
Yes.
and no downtime. So like this, you need to add these important points in the interview.
Okay. Mhm.
How would you handle secret
Okay.
management in Docker Swarm? I will repeat the question again. How would you handle secret management in Docker Swarm? Nothing but I have a password, secure files, which is whatever it may be, database password. That type of passwords, how you will manage that in Docker Swarm. In Kubernetes, you know how you will manage in Kubernetes. Do you know?
No.
It's okay. I will go to the next question. How do you monitor Docker containers in production environment? Final question, and I will repeat it again. How do you monitor Docker containers in a production environment?
By looking into Docker logs, like whatever the output we got.
Okay, Harish, can you able to share your screen and write a Docker file, basic Docker file, whatever you know?
Yes. Okay.
Then after I will show you the answers for all this question. Then after we can wind up the session.
Okay.
Just open the notepad.
Yes.
You can maximize the notepad.
Okay.
Just maximize.
Maximize. Okay. I think I have maximized. You can see my screen, right?
Yes, yes, I can able to see.
Okay.
Just explain me the lines as well, whatever you are writing. What is the use of that?
Okay. 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 From means the which OS we are using or from where we are getting this. It's Ubuntu or Linux or Oracle with
Which
Linux or
image?
anything.
Which image we are
And
using?
then
Not OS, it's a
which image?
image.
Sorry. Hello.
In the from we will
Yeah.
give,
Which image?
yeah,
Ah,
which image we are
image.
going to
Yeah. Sorry.
use.
Which image we are using? Yeah. And then using run which command you need to run in the application for updating like anything if required for update, then app get
Yeah, if we want to execute
update
any type of command,
and
we can use a run instruction. So what is the use
app
of
get,
run? If they ask,
yeah.
if you want to execute any type of commands, we can use run. Okay, it's enough. You can go to next
App
line.
get upgrade. Yes. And then if we required any entry point for
Okay, there is no
this,
space. There is no space.
and then
In the entry point, there is no space.
yeah. Yeah.
So
And
what is the
for
difference
command,
between
if
this
we
entry
want
point
to
and
run any
CMD?
command, uh,
Oh,
like entry point, what to say, like mm,
Anisette, do you know?
No.
Okay. So that's it, Harish. You can unshare your screen.
yeah, yes,
Thanks for participating. So like this, we will be having interactive sessions. Okay. I just given you only 10 minutes because I know this is the first time in on the day one. If I ask you to share your screen, right, it will little bit uncomfortable. I can understand. So in upcoming days, right, Arish, you need to be ready for complex. Okay,
sure, sure.
because it will help in the real interview, right? Whenever they ask you to share your screen, you will easily share and you will
Hmm.
easily write because
Right, yes.
in this mock interview you will already practice it how to perform.
Hmm. Yes,
Okay, I will just show you the answers.
got it.
So what is Docker
Yes.
Compose and how is it used in multi-container application?
Okay.
So answer for that, Docker Compose is a tool for defining and running multi-container Docker applications using a YAML file. Whatever you said, you are right. It simplified the management of interconnected services. Okay, nothing but like for suppose if there is a container running on application and there is one more container which is running on database, so you can able to interconnect that both application and database using this Docker Compose. Okay, how you will interconnect, we will go ahead and we will discuss. Okay, how do you scale services in Docker Compose? Use Docker Compose up minus minus scale service equal to number, so that automatically it will scale that. To scale the number of instances of a service defined in Docker Compose.yml. Explain how do handle dependencies between services in Docker Compose. I said you right, interconnected services. So using these dependencies, we can able to interconnect. If you see, use the depends on directive in the Docker Compose.yml to define dependencies between services. This ensures that dependent service start in the correct order. Okay, how do you manage environment variable in Docker Compose? Use the environment section in Docker Compose.yml or provide a separate .env file that Docker Compose can read for environmental variable. Okay, We can use env instruction in the Docker file, but in Docker Compose file you need to use environment section. So what are some, this one we already discussed in Docker sessions if you already joined. So if anyone watching on this YouTube, if you are looking for DevOps training, so you can see here mobile number was displayed. You can send me a message in WhatsApp, okay, and you can directly join live sessions. So what are some best practices for writing a Docker Compose file? So best practices includes using named volumes for persistent storage, use .env file for environment variables, splitting configurations into multiple Docker Compose files for different environments. Okay, and using health checks for service dependencies. Like for suppose if there are three environments, dev, UAT, and prod. What I can do, I can maintain three folders. I will keep dev related Docker Compose file in the dev folder, right, in the prod related in the prod folder. Like this I can able to divide it, so that it is also one type of best practice. I can use environmental variables as well for reusability purpose. This is also one of the best practice, but in real time we will not use Docker Compose. But as I am taking mock interview on Docker, so you need to be an expert on every concept. Next we will going to Kubernetes. In the Kubernetes also I will ask you 50 mock interviews, okay, and you will not get out of that, okay, you only on within that 50 questions only you will get in the real interviews. If you are perfect in that 50 questions, you can crack any question on Docker or Kubernetes. We already completed on Jenkins. You can go to playlist section, there you can find Jenkins interview question and answers. There I already asked 50 questions on Jenkins. You can check out that 50 questions is enough to crack a question for Jenkins. Now we are started Docker. Okay, then we will go to Kubernetes. How would you implement logging for Docker containers? So use Docker logging drivers. Example JSON file, syslog, journal D, fluentd, etc. So I have seen this fluentd in my real time, like real environment, as I'm working in Nokia project, right? They are using fluentd for as a logging agent. Okay, as a DevOps engineer you will not work on this part, but there will be some real environments where you can find it, okay. To manage container logs for centralized logging, integrate Docker with logging tools like ELK Stack, Fluentd, or Splunk. So how do you secure Docker containers in production environment? Security best practices include running containers with least privilege, using trusted images, right? We need to use only trusted images. We cannot use any third party images in production environment. In development environment it's okay. Keeping Docker up to date, enabling SC Linux or App Armor, and using Docker Content Trust for image signing. What is Docker Swarm? How does it manage container orchestration? So Docker Swarm is Docker native's clustering and orchestration tool. It manages a cluster of Docker nodes, scheduling containers, and provide features like service discovery. I told you, right, scaling and rolling update. How would you handle secret management in Docker Swarm? In the Kubernetes there is a secret, right? In the same way in Docker also there is a Docker secrets. Use Docker Swarm's built-in secrets management to securely store and manage sensitive information like passwords, API keys, and certificate. Secrets are created using Docker secret create and used in services with Docker service create. Okay. How do you monitor Docker containers in a production environment? In Kubernetes, do you know, did you heard about Kubernetes secrets? You both of you? No.
No.
Okay. It's a basic like Docker secret, sorry, Kubernetes secret should know everyone. In Kubernetes, we will run ingress controller. In the ingress controller for certificates, how you will store that using secrets itself. How do you monitor Docker container in production environment? Use monitoring tools like Prometheus with the CA Advisor, Grafana, ELK Stack, or third-party services like Datadog. to monitor container metrics, logs, and performance. Okay, so that's it for this today's mock interview. I will stop the recording.